Hello friends, I will discuss about UGC NET Paper 2 Political Science subject syllabus. Unit 1 is Political Theory. Its topics are liberty, equality, justice, rights, democracy, power, citizenship. Then liberalism, conservatism, socialism, Marxism, feminism, ecologism, multiculturalism and postmodernism. Then Unit 2 Political Thought topics are Confucius, Plato, Aristotle, Machiavelli, Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, Hegel, Mary Wollstonecraft, John Stuart Mill, Karl Marx, Gramsci, Hannah Arendt, Frantz Fanon, Mao Zedong, John Rawls. Then Unit 3 Indian Political Thought topics are Dharmashastra, Kautilya, Agarnasutta, Barani, Kabir, Pandita Ramabai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Swami Vivekanand, Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi, Sri Aurobindo, Periyar E.V. Ramaswamy, Muhammad Iqbal, M.N. Roy, V.D. Savarkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Jawaharlal Nehru, Ram Manohar Lohia, Jayaprakash Narayan, Deen Dayal Upadhyaya. Then Unit 4 Comparative Political Analysis topics are approaches re institutional political culture, political economy and new institutionalism, comparative methods, then colonialism and decolonialization, forms of colonialism, anti-colonial struggles and decolonialization, then nationalism, European and non-European, then state theory, debate over the nature of state in capitalist and socialist societies, post-colonial state, welfare state, globalization and nation state. Then political regimes, democratic, electoral, liberal, majoritarian and participatory, and non-democratic regimes, patrimonialism, bureaucratic authoritarianism, military dictatorship, totalitarianism and fascist. Then constitutions and constitutionalism, forms of constitutions, rule of law, judicial independence and constitutionalism, emergency powers and crisis of constitutionalism. Then democratization, democratic transition and consolidation, then development, underdevelopment, dependency, modernization, world systems theory, development and democracy. Then structures of power, ruling class, power elites, democratic elitism, then actor and processes, electoral systems, political parties and party system, interest groups, social movements, new social movements, non-governmental organizations and civil society campaigns, then revolutions. That's it. Then Unit 5 International Relation topics are approaches to the study of international relations, idealism, realism, structural Marxism, neoliberalism, neorealism, social conservatism, critical international theory, feminism and postmodernism. Then concepts state, state system and non-state actors, power, sovereignty, security, traditional and non-traditional. Then conflict and peace, changing nature of welfare, weapons of mass destruction, deterrence, conflict resolution, conflict transformation. Then United Nations aims, objectives, structure and evolution of the working of UN, peace and development perspective, humanitarian intervention, international law, international criminal court. Then political economy of international relation, globalization, global governance and Bretton Woods system, North-South dialogue, WTO, which means World Trade Organization, G20, then BRICS. Then regional organizations, European Union, African Union, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, then ASEAN. Then contemporary challenges, international terrorism, climate change and environmental concerns, human rights, migration and refugees, poverty and development, role of religion, culture and identity politics. Then Unit 6 is India's foreign policy. Its topics are perspectives on India's foreign policy, India's identity as post-colonial development, rising power and as emerging political economy. Then continuity and change in India's foreign policy, its principles and determinants, non-alignment movement, historical background and relevance of non-aligned movement. Then India's nuclear policy. Then India's relations with major powers are USA, USSR or Russia, People's Republic of China. Then India's engagement with multipolar world are India's relations with European Union, BRICS, ASEAN, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, African Union, Southern African Development Community, Gulf Cooperation Council. Then India's relations with neighborhood are SAARC, Gujarat Doctrine, Look East Policy, Arctic Policy and Look West Policy. Then India's negotiation strategies in international regimes are the United Nations, World Trade Organization, International Monetary Fund, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Then contemporary challenges are maritime security, energy security, environmental security, migrants and refugees, water resources, international terrorism and cyber security. Then Unit 7 is political institutions in India. Topics are making of the Indian Constitution, colonial heritage and the contribution Indian national movement to the making of the Indian Constitution. Then constituent assemblies are compositions, ideological moorings, constitutional debates. It is then philosophy of the constitutions are preamble, fundamental rights, directive principles, etc. Then constitutionalism in India, democracy, social change, national unity, checks and balances, basic structure, debate, constitutional amendments. Then Union Executive, it is part President, Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. Then Union Parliament, structure, role and functioning, parliamentary committees. Then Judiciary, Supreme Court, High Court, judicial review, judicial activism and judicial reform. Then executive and legislature in the states, governor, chief minister and state legislature. Then federalism in India, strong center framework, asymmetrical federal provisions and adoption, role of intergovernmental coordination mechanisms, interstate council and emerging trends. Then electoral process and election commission of India, conduct of election rules, then electoral reforms, local government institutions, it is functioning and reforms, then constitutional and statutory bodies, it is comptroller and auditor general, national commission for scheduled castes, national commission for scheduled tribes, national commission for human rights, national commission for women and national commission for minorities. Then unit 8 is political process in India. Its topics are state, economy and development. It is nature of Indian state, development planning model, new economic policy, growth and development, growth and human development. Then process of globalization, social and economic implication. Then identity politics, it is religion, tribe, caste, region and language. Then social movements, it is Dalit, tribes, tribal, women, farmers and labor. Then civil society groups are non-party social formations, non-governmental organizations, social action groups. Then regionalization of Indian politics, reorganization of Indian states, states as political and economic units, sub-state regions, regional disparities and demand for new states. Then gender and politics in India, it is issues of equality and representation. Then ideology and social basis of political parties, it is national parties and state parties. Then electoral politics, it is participations, constitutions, representation and emerging trends. Then unit 9, public administration. First topic is public administration, it is meaning and evolution, public and private administration, approaches, system theory, decision making theory, ecological approach. Then public administration theories and concepts, scientific management theory, rational choice theory, new public administration, development administration. Then comparative public administration, new public management, changing nature of public administration in the era of liberalization and globalization. Then theories and principles of organization, it is scientific management theory, bureaucratic theory and human relation theory. Then managing the organization, it is theories of leadership and motivation. Then organizational communication, it is theories and principles, Chester Bernard principles of communication. Then information management in the organization. Then managing conflict in the organization, Mary Parker Follett, and management by objectives, Peter Drucker. Then unit 10 is governance and public policy in India. Last unit topics are governance, good governance and democratic governance, role of state, civil society and individuals. Then accountability and control, it is institutional mechanism for checks and balances, legislative control over executive, administrative and budgetary control, control through parliamentary committees, judicial control over legislature and executive, administrative culture, and corruption and administrative reforms. Then institutional mechanisms for good governance, right to information, Consumer Protection Act, Citizen Charter, grievance redressal system. It is Ombudsman, Lokpal and Lokayukta. Then grassroots governance, Panchayat Raj institutions and their functioning. Then planning and development, decentralized planning, planning for development, sustainable development, participatory development, e-governance and Niti Aayog. Then public policy as an instrument of socio-economic development, public policies with special reference to housing, health, drinking water, food security, abbreviation MNREGA, then NHRM and RTE. Then last of it